Hey guys, it's me, my face, or at least what's left of it. Today's dance is brought to us by nothing. I don't have a beverage up here. I just finished my cup of coffee and didn't feel like going all the way downstairs to get anything else. If you're new here, my name is Andrea, and this is a channel about cross-stitching and scrapbooking and buying things, bad decisions, beer, cats, opinions, mental health, a smorgasbord. If you're a returning visitor, welcome back. I am sorry that I did not get to record a video last week. It's been a tough few weeks. There's a lot going on. You can also see that I went out in the daylight. This is what's left of the sunburn. I was hurting last week. Now I'm peeling. My whole face is coming off. I hope you can't see it. I tried to scrub away as much as I could before I started. Wasn't my fault. My sister plied me with beverages and had me come sit in the sunlight. Like some sort of barbarian. Still don't think she's found this channel. Anyway, I have a whole lot to get into this week. Not all stitching, but we will start with the stitching because that's what most of you are here for. Heck, that's what I'm here for. Let's start with the big one. This is Death by Cross Stitch. Pretty sure you're familiar with it. And we will attempt to show you. I can't see what you can see. I did a lot over here. And started to come down a little more back here. You can't see that. Over here. I'm trying to look through. So yeah, this is one of those things that when I'm working on it, I want to keep working on it for like the rest of my life. But the minute I put it down, I'm like, Death by Cross Stitch who? New hobby, who dis? I no longer have an expected end date on that. I was telling myself that maybe I could get 2 or 3 more pages done this year. But now I've moved to Pattern Keeper and I took out the page breaks. I mean, I know I can put them back in, but I kind of like just stitching along and not having to play the whole, are these end 4 rows in the dark and the first one and the second one? You know what I'm talking about, the page overlap. Don't act like you don't know what I'm talking about. The next thing that I worked on is Templar Prophecy. This is, where am I going with that? I worked on over here, which I have to say was a lovely break from that solid black stitching. My eyes were starting to cross, my toes were starting to cross. So I made a horse head. Go me. I should also point out that you know, I am technically selling this with Zemula Laura over on Instagram and in many other places. And she's kicking my ass. She's almost done. That's okay. I like her a lot. I'll let it go. The next thing that I worked on is Misfortune, who coincidentally is a gift from Zemula. I have not decided yet what color I'm going to make the crystal ball. I still am a little nervous about changing colors in a Prairie schooler because Prairie schoolers, as a rule, are perfection. But I did manage to finish, over here. I did those flowers and vines. I keep calling them lungs, the dark leaves that hang down because they look like lungs. No lie, this one here, I stitched and picked out probably 4 times. It shouldn't have been that hard. I got fancy. I had come down on the border and said, well, I'll work my way back up to get, if they didn't match. I stitched it again, it didn't match. I stitched it again, you can see where this is going. Now they match. Because I gave up on that and started working from the top down again, and guess what? I could keep track better. And the last thing I worked on in the past couple of weeks is Haunted Mansion. This is from Tiny Modernist, and as you can see, we have gotten rid of the Q-snap because it's all about the moon right now. And I just left myself enough room, I think. Honestly, I think. To get that moon in there. So that is where I am starting next. There's another bit of the tower here. And then the moon comes up over here. And then down at the very bottom, there's some little pumpkins and tombstones and things like that. So I am closing in on this being done. What I'm going to do with it, I haven't the slightest idea. We'll figure that out at the end. And that's actually all the actual stitching. Actually, that I managed to do in the past couple of weeks. Like I said, it's been a bad couple of weeks. I will get into that. But for those of you who only come here to stare at stitching, that's the stitching. I do have a little teeny bit of stitching haul. My nest egg came from Trisha over at 3 Owl Threads. Love her. And I love this setup. She sends out monthly in alphabetical order, and then she'll fill in anything that got skipped in months before. But it really is, my collection is expanding like at a frightening rate, and yet I don't feel like I'm constantly shopping, which is good for my, anxiety. So we are all aware that nobody's going to be able to see the colors true to life in these, but we will just go through the list. This month was Blacksmith Blue, which I like a lot. Bunny Honey, which I don't understand, but it's gray. We'll use that. Blushing Beauty, I like. It's pink without being Pepto-Bismol-y. Pepto-Bismol really ruined pink for everybody because it's like Barney and purple. You just ruined purple for everyone. This is Calico Kitty, and I am all over it. I need a place to use that today. Black Coffee, which from what I can tell is like a staple of, what people use as an alternate for certain browns in DMC. It's not really variegated, but it's a nice brown. This is Almost Auburn. Forgive me. This is Bandor, because it's Bandor. That's how you say it. It's Bandor. This is Barn Door. Also a staple. I hear about this a lot from Priscilla and Chelsea, and now I have some. And I like that, so I think I'm going to use that a fair amount. This one I love. This is Bing Cherry. Look at that. That's aggressive. I like that. We have Balsam Fir, which I also love. And Camouflage, which I think I already own because it was one of those greens that I was auditioning for Templar Prophecy to use on the dragon. I ended up doing steamed broccoli. Or is it steamed spinach? I don't know. It'll be up there. Steamed something. But I like this green. This is a good I don't like colors that are like primary colors. They get all up, words. They'll come out of my face. They come out in some order, or it's up to you to, put them in the right order. So anyway, that is my stitching haul. Don't ever go to Christmas tree shop. Just don't do it. It's worse than the dollar store. It really is. Because it is. I've been obsessed lately with using paper napkins as part of scrapbooking with decoupage and putting them on envelopes and this and that and the other, and just because I'm fascinated by all of it. But I don't have any good paper napkins. I don't even have any bad paper napkins. So I stopped at Christmas tree shop the other day. Beer had happened. Full disclosure. You'll see the result of that later in the video. So I got some of these, which I liked because they're already kind of natural colored. So I don't have to tea dye them to make them look, you know, less white and obnoxious. So I got those. And I got these because I thought they looked kind of vaguely, they just look kind of classic. And, you know, it's just a nice rose to put in a background up on a corner or something, just to take up a little space and make it pretty. I don't even need to explain this. I don't need to explain why I would have purchased. Look at him! Look at him! I want to wallpaper my walls with him! He's so cute! Oh my god, I'm gonna die. I don't even know. I don't know, I'll use him for something because I couldn't not. And I got this. In a way, I'm kind of second guessing it because, yeah, seahorse, the colors, but, you know, on some of the, I know, I'm trying to get rid of the glare and the glare. Sometimes I kind of, I'm seriously, I can complete a sentence. The scrapbook that I'm currently working on is actually, you know, cards and notes and things like that that were sent to me by people who watch my videos. And I think of them as just, you know, my friends. But I keep trying to make the pages as something that I would enjoy more than I'm saying what personifies that person. So I have to keep kind of rethinking, because I'll look at something and I'll say, well, I don't really like that color. But the card that they sent is clearly majority this color, and clearly they like it, and this page is about them. Not about me. It's not about you, Andrea. The next book, that'll be about me. So I got a few things out of my comfort zone. I also got this at the dollar store at some point. I've been there like, I don't know how many times in the past 2 weeks. Because honestly, does this not scream Michelle Bendy Stitchy? I think I need to do something with that. And the last things I got at Christmas tree shop were just for me, but I will share them with you. Yes, I will share them with you. I got a notepad, Be Kind, with the little bee and a pen, and how cute is this? And it's magnetic. And I always I make a lot of lists for work especially. And I'm always looking for long strips of paper, and I'm cutting up or tearing up regular paper to make strips of paper. But these are super cute, so I'm going to use this. And because I couldn't stand to stay away from the bees, I got some little note cards. So cute. This is $1. And there's 8 cards and 8 envelopes. You go wrong there. This one was also $1. And I just thought that was really pretty. So I kind of have a goal to send more cards this year. Not for reasons, just because I have cards. Why don't I send them to people? I'm just getting here. Put everything back in the bag, Andrea, and then you'll know where to find it. No, I won't. So I have a wee little announcement. Obviously, you may have noticed that this video is going up late this week, but it's not, because it's actually going up perfectly on time for my new recording schedule. I have decided, at least for the summer, that I would like my Saturdays and my Saturday nights to be relaxing, and, you know, not that making a video is stressful, but it's time consuming. And then I make the video, and then I edit the video, and then there's uploading, and then wine happens, and then, yeah. So I have decided that I'm going to start recording and editing on Sunday. And I'm not sure, depending on how long things take, I may start publishing either Sunday night or Monday morning. So it's not a huge shift, but it does, I feel like it gives me, I need that Saturday. I need that Saturday to relax. I need that Saturday to just decompress, and we'll see how it works out. Maybe in the fall we go back, There isn't a person out there who is demanding that I do Sunday videos or weekly videos or any other sort of videos. This is all me. This is in my head that I have a schedule. So I'm changing it. The reason I did not record yesterday is because I spent most of the day outside again, in the daylight. You want to know what I was doing? Building a gazebo. Yeah, I know. Remember I mentioned that there was beer involved in the trip to Christmas tree shop? We bought a gazebo. I love it. You're probably seeing pictures here of it in the box and then set up. It said it was going to take about 2.5 hours. It took us about 5, but we had a couple of setbacks, and there were a lot of breaks because Mama ain't used to being outside, and there needed to be air conditioning and some laying down and some kvetching that happened. So it did take us longer than it probably should have. But it's up, and it's so neat, and I can't wait to... It has a bar. I know. I can't wait to string up some lights. We'll probably put down some pavers so that, chairs don't sink into the sand. We have a very sandy backyard because kind of where we put it is where the pool used to be, so it had that sand base. So it's kind of like sitting at the beach, which some people like. Others of us like a nice solid ground. But it's cool, and it has these little side corner tables, and it has the mosquito netting all around it. I mean, it was cheap. It was a $200 gazebo. So, I mean, it's going to be about as good as a $200 gazebo is going to be. So, I don't have any illusions. Nobody's going to book their wedding in my gazebo. But it might be nice to sit out there more evenings and have coffee or have beverages, bring out the laptop, watch some videos, watch some movies, and just enjoy the yard. Everybody else in my neighborhood seems to be enjoying their yard. There's fireworks, there's everything. I want to sit out there and watch them. So yeah, that's where I lost an entire Saturday and made the executive decision that the new schedule is Sunday. So what made the last few weeks crappy? I have a sad story, I have a ongoing update, and then I have some happy news. So that's life. The sad news is that my uncle, Chris, passed away a couple of weeks ago. And in the words of one of my friends, he was a total badass. At 17, he tried to join the Navy, lying about his age, and finally, I don't know if they realized he wasn't 18 or something, but it ended up not, they were onto him. So he ended up having to go home and get his parents' permission to join the Navy at age 17. Basically so he could go to war. He enlisted in the Navy, but ended up working with the Marines, and he actually wore a Marine uniform as a medic. And he was at Iwo Jima at 19. At 19. You ever watch a movie about Iwo Jima? 19. I was an idiot when I was 19. He was fighting a war. He was wounded there. He wasn't just wounded physically. He was a child. So it wounded his soul too. And he went through a lot of struggles when he came home. I believe the first time they offered him his Purple Heart, he refused it. He said, just put it under the pillow on my bed when you bring them around or whatever it was. And then he left and never went back for it. I believe he did eventually receive his Purple Heart because it was part of his memorial. He was a very different kind of guy. He was rowdy and kind of rude. He loved, like, fiercely the things that he loved. He loved them to the last. He was a firefighter in town in some neighborhoods where, you know, they'd be trying to put out the fire and people were throwing rocks at him. That's not how the fire gets put out, people. So, you know, he had a very specific set of experiences that shaped the way he thought about the world and other people and things like that. And we agreed on absolutely nothing having to do with people, ethnicity, cultural change, civil rights, anything we disagreed on. And he was one of my favorite people. Because everything he felt deep. And he felt it sincerely. He wasn't, you know, he wasn't going along with the crowd. He was leading it, I guess is what you could say. So he passed away last, 2 Saturdays ago now. And we put him to rest last week. And that is the last of my mother's brothers and sisters. They're all gone now. And so that is, that's tough. That was tough to see, and it's tough to think about. But for a man in his 90s, he was active right up until he required hospice care. I mean, he was signed up for hospice care, and his wife was still packing him into the car every other day to go to Dunkies and get his jelly donut. And there was a day they gave him the wrong donut. That was a bad day for everyone. That's how feisty he was right to the end. So we will miss Chris so much. Just so much. You may remember in the video before this, I let people know that my cat Socks is very sick. He has cancer. For a long time, he stopped eating almost completely, but now he's been on steroids and an appetite stimulant for the past couple of weeks, and he is doing better. He has good days and bad days. Today is a good day. He took his pill without me having to, cry or anything like that. He was doing well with those little pill pockets and then decided he didn't want that anymore. And then I was putting it in a little wad of cheese and then he decided he didn't want that anymore. Now I'm down to crushing up the treats that he loves and putting the pill in a bowl with that. And he's eating the treat dust and he gets the pill and we seem to get through the day. But it's getting tough. There's not much to be done. He is hungry all the time, but I think he also has some nausea, so he's kind of miserable. You ever have a flu and you're hungry, but you know that eating is not going to work for you? I think that's what he feels like. But we go through a lot of treats a day. And he is eating some of those little packets of kitty broth. He will, it's funny. He doesn't seem to like the dry food anymore, and I thought maybe it was because it was crunchy and it was causing him a problem, but he's eating the treats and they're crunchy. I don't know. Whatever he's willing to eat, we're willing to give him. Yesterday he ate a slice of turkey. A couple of days ago he ate the chicken out of my Greek salad and some of the cheese. Mark had a meatball sub the other night, and I'm pretty sure he got half a meatball out of that. So we're just making him as happy as can be, and waiting. Hot on the heels of all this bad news with some good news. My nephew, Brian, who is also my godchild, so he's a little extra special to me, has announced his engagement to the lovely Amanda. They are hoping, I don't think they have a date yet. It's tough to plan a wedding right now, but they are engaged, hopefully in the next year and a half or so. Gives me plenty of time to lose a lot of weight because I want to look good in the pictures. I want to wear a dress that I'm happy in and not one that just covers all the things I need it to cover. So that is thrilling. This is the first of my sister's 4 kids to get engaged and hopefully get married. So this is a big wedding for us because we have been, all we've had in the past few years are funerals. So it'll be nice to have a good reason to get people together and have some fun, you know, eventually when we don't have to wear a mask. Or maybe we will wear masks, but we're still gonna do it. So I have to say, at least through all of this, I have held together fairly well. You know, there have been days that I just slept. I just slept away the unhappiness. But there were other days that I didn't. And there were other days where it didn't drag me under. So I really think, we finally hit the right balance on the medication that I take. I am on Prozac, that's 40 milligrams. I started out at 10, jumped to 20, and now we're at 40. And we've been here for about several months now. And that seems to work for me. I know that things are upsetting. I can cry sometimes about them. But I'm not reduced to just sitting and staring at a wall anymore. Or, queuing up 10 or 15 videos and not really watching any of them, just letting them play so that there's some sort of noise other than what goes on in my head. So that's been good. We'll see how long it lasts. They've just announced that we will be working from home until January. I am okay with working from home under most circumstances, but it is lonely, and it is some days it's harder to be motivated than others, and it's harder to it's not hard for me to do my job. I like doing my job. Sometimes it's hard for me to throw in the extra effort to do things that I kind of find the fun parts. So I'm doing all the stuff I have to do, and then at the end of the day I'm like, oh, maybe I could build this form, or I can figure out this database or something like that. And I go, no, we want to log out now. We've been logged in for 11 hours. It's time to log out. So we'll see how that goes. So I think that's about all I have to say. As always, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for your likes and even your dislikes. And thank you so much for your comments. I know I'm behind on them, but I read every single one. I really do appreciate them. Thank you for being my community. Bye, guys.